NIL is name, image, and likeness. From NIL, you can get brand deals, collabs with different kind of brands, just anything along the lines of mixing and collabing with the brand as long as it makes sense for both parties, the player and the marketing side.
Let's jump right into it though. For the people that don't know, um, who is Destiny Haywood? Who are you?
Um, I am a young black female from the heart of the Dunbar community of Fort Myers, Florida. Currently working to be a sports agent in the NFL.
Okay, yeah, that's like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure. First and foremost, tell us about your upbringing.
Born and raised in Fort Myers, Florida, right on Jalen Watkins Street in the heart of the Dunbar community. Um, Growing up, I've always been around sports my entire life, and that's kind of how I got to where I am currently right now.
Most definitely. Growing up, did you always see yourself working in sports?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Speak on it a little bit.
So growing up, my interest in sports stemmed from my family's deep background in the sports industry. From my uncles to my cousins, brothers, all played football, so that's kind of where the interest stemmed from. I was always around the sport as a kid.
Most definitely. So, with that being said, um, how did, like you said, the people around you shape your path and which way you took though?
Being able to see the background side of things from like players and the family's perspective, it gave me that personal experience, which then led to curiosity, which then led to me wanting to learn more about the field. Being an advocate somewhere in the sports industry.
Most definitely. So, um, how does being a woman in a male-driven industry feel, and how do you navigate those waters?
You just keep going. It's a challenge for sure. Um, It's kind of 50-50 because I do get a lot of male support. I do. But on the other hand of that, it's a male dominated industry. So it's going to be a challenge. But this is a passion for me. So I'm up for any challenge that comes with it.
Most definitely. So, um, for the parents and the students that are watching, and the student athletes, what exactly is an NIL?
NIL is name, image, and likeness. From NIL, you can get brand deals, collabs with different kind of brands, just anything along the lines of mixing and collabing with the brand as long as it makes sense for both parties, the player and the marketing side of it.
Right. I mean, in Fort Myers, you know, and really across, the country, but, most definitely Southwest Florida, shout out to the Firecats. We just had that amazing season, and, we're approaching it again. So that's first and foremost. Like I said, shout out to the Firecats again. But,
For sure.
a lot of people are wanting to understand and have the knowledge about this type of, um, about NIL. So, what qualifies a student athlete for NIL?
So most of the time, brands set their own qualifications based on what they're looking for and how they'll be able to benefit from the deal. Um, The main thing for players and families to understand is that the players have to be active on social media, whether that's engaging with the people on their social media, whether it's posting workouts, whether it's posting, them making their pre-workout shakes or smoothies, they have to be pretty active on social media. And I think that's going to be the main thing to help them get an NIL deal if that's what they're pursuing.
So, does a NIL mean you have to be a superstar?
No, not at all.
Speak on it a little bit.
So of course you have to have the talent to back up your name. Especially in the sports industry, your name is a big part of what you want to be doing. You don't have to be a superstar. Like I said, if you have the great social media engagement, that's half of the battle right there when it comes to getting a NIL deal.
What would you tell that young student athlete that's actually trying and they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, but they still haven't really, really got to the place where they want to be as far as NIL and, the exposure?
Right. First, I would say keep going. Don't stop just because you don't see things folding out the way you want them to when you want them to. So keep going. Second, I would say reach out. To somebody that knows what they're doing. Lock in with them and lock in on the game. And everything should fall into place after that.
Most definitely. Like I said, we got a lot of people that aspire to have dreams of being in the NFL or just going to a good college. So what does that look like for that student athlete that wants that but doesn't really know how to navigate? Where can they start at?
Ask questions. Even as players, network. Connect with other players. Team up and work out. Make those connections. And get the work in. That's what I suggest. Lock in with someone who potentially has done it before, or someone that you see fit that can help you reach those goals, and go from there.
Now, is there a specific blueprint that they should be following? Because when you look at certain strategies, they just work. Mm-hmm. So, is there a specific route that they should be taking?
No, but I mean, as there are certain things that are going to be very important, especially on the high school player level. Like, for instance, that NCAA eligibility and registering for that. A lot of players don't know that that's a requirement. So even researching yourself, it can help you as a player, figure out where to put your next foot down forward and how to move from there. So there is no blueprint. You just gotta get out there and work, connect with other players, connect with people it's a lot of people in the community that offer workouts, connect with them, work out here and there,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Is there a platform that a student athlete should be focusing on more, or should they be focusing on all the platforms?
As far as social media?
Yeah, as far as social media.
I think Instagram is gonna be one of the biggest platforms. In my opinion, Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, hit Instagram. If you haven't started one, pretty much start one. Mm-hmm. What's the youngest you've seen someone with an NIL, like far as age, and what sports are really doing good with NILs right now? I know that's a two-part question.
Right. I think the most popular sport surrounding NIL right now is football. Football for sure. Um, what was the first question?
No, you answered it. So yeah,
Okay.
but pretty much, football is one of the main sports that people are getting NILs in.
Right.
So with that being said, though, is there a second sport that NILs are coming out of? But then also, I did say, what's the youngest you've seen?
The youngest I've seen, it had to be Bronny James, I think, and that's with basketball. But and NIL deal as a whole, it had to be Bronny James, the
Bronny
youngest.
James.
Yeah.
So when you see like some of the local guys, and shout out to everybody that's doing it in the city. Far as just with the brand endorsements, would that be considered NIL?
Yeah. Yeah.
Most definitely. Okay. Um, what what does a college coach look for in a student athlete?
Um, Grades, first of all, the education is very important. Character, who are you on the field? Who are you off the field? Who are you in the classroom? Who are you around your peers? Who are you around your teachers? The way that you carry yourself, your social media presence. Everything stems from you. As a player, it all stems from you. And mainly, basically, how you carry yourself. Because college coaches are on social media. They do reach out to people around you and ask about you. So I think it's important to always maintain who you are as a player, your character, and that will speak for you when that time comes.
So it's a certain standard that you have to uphold within yourself, pretty much.
In general, yeah, you know, you college a college coach wouldn't want to recruit someone who's not on top of their grades for one, who doesn't know how to respect the teachers, who's not respecting their own players. If you can't respect the people around you, how much respect do you have for yourself as a player?
Right.
So I think those things are very important.
So you have to be coachable first and foremost.
For sure.
And with that being said, too, though, respect go a long way.
Right.
What qualities and a student athlete would you look for that you would want to work with personally?
Um, the qualities that I look for when I go to work with athletes, um, mainly your character, because at the end of the day, these are still kids, they're still young or whatever. I pay attention to how you interact with your team. Are you a leader on the team? Can you lead your peers, and respect. But, I try to keep in mind that these are still kids, so.
Um, when should student athletes start looking for representation?
As far as NIL or
Um,
collegiate level or beyond
um,
that?
yeah, I would say collegiate and even before collegiate.
I say if we're gonna go that far back, I say junior senior year of high school, because that's when it all starts getting serious. From the books to the field, that's when it all starts getting serious. So you would want to lock in with someone, and you guys build that relationship, maintain that relationship until it gets to that level of actually needing an actual agent.
So what does that look like? How does a student athlete start preparing junior, senior year? What should they be doing at that point? Film and other things. So what does that look like?
Training camps, film, making sure your NCAA eligibility is in great standing, college visits, and figuring out what it is you want to do when you get to college.
Most definitely. So I say this. I mean, it's a pleasure to have you. You know, to break down what a lot of people are thinking about, far as their child, and even the student athletes. So, what mindset should they be having at this point? Even like you said, at that starting point, what's their mindset?
For the players or the families?
Everybody.
I say for the parents, just learning everything you can to help support your child in the sports industry.
Yeah.
And teaching it to the child and highlighting the importance of certain things for the players.
Most definitely. So it should be a system that they coming up with to have an idea where they want to go, and how they're going to navigate it, pretty much.
Um, it should be, but with the high school to college, college to NFL kind of route, things go different for each player. There's no set guideline or like a specific route that's out there for players to kind of follow. It's kind of like every player has their own set journey, and you follow your journey based off of what you plan to do as a player, how far you plan to go as a player.
For sure. So, where do you see yourself at in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself at an NFL draft with one of the top players in the NFL draft for that year. That's where I see myself as a sports agent.
So, what are you doing necessarily to get yourself to that point? How are you setting yourself up for that type of success?
Right now, I am currently going back to school to obtain my master's degree to become NFLPA certified as an agent. So, becoming an advocate for those players, whether that's on the field, off the field.
Most definitely. So, what does legacy look like to you?
To me, legacy is leaving something behind that your kids and the generations after them can obtain and be proud to stand behind and be proud to carry on if that's what they choose to do.
Most definitely. So, what impact do you want to leave on Southwest Florida?
I want the boys and girls of Southwest Florida to be able to look at me and know that they can do it. Whatever it is, whether it's what I'm doing or something different. I want to be the pillar that represents you can do it. There's no limitations. The sky is the limit.
What would you tell that young woman that has these type of aspirations? What would you say to her and her starting point, if you can speak to her?
I say keep going. Don't let anybody deter you from what you want to do, how you want to do it. There will be challenges. There will be roadblocks, but keep going. Take those and keep going and enjoy the journey, most of all.
For sure. Like you said, you spoke in the beginning on growing up on Jalen Watkins Street in Fort Myers. How does that feel growing up on a street that's named after someone right there from your household?
Right. Super crazy. I think about it all the time, and I'm glad that I have that something I can look at like that because it makes me want to add to it.
Most definitely.
Right.
So, anybody you want to just give a thanks, give a shout out to?
It's so many people I can name, but everyone who's been supporting me with my sports career, with my sports journey so far, the people on Facebook, the people on Instagram, the people that tag me in things, my brother for sure, my family, all my siblings. Yeah. Thanks to everyone that supports me.
Where can people connect with you at?
Instagram at Who Is Des and Facebook Destiny Demar.
So when a student athlete approaches you, because like you said, we're all trying to ascertain and reach a certain goal. What do they need to have first and foremost?
They need to have the drive and the motivation to do what it is that they're trying to do. I don't require players to automatically come prepared, or come with, 1, 2, 3, ABC. No, we take what you have and we go from there. We get you in the right position to move on to the next step, and we build.
Most definitely. Like I said in the beginning, it's a real honor and a pleasure to have you stop in on the podcast and just expound upon the whole NIL, because it's such a big topic, and it's a big thing to speak about. But and one last question though, just the reality of the whole NIL. Everybody won't get one. Speak on that though. And what does that look like?
For the people not getting NIL?
Yeah.
I say don't let NIL make or break your career, keep going, because there are other offers, other avenues, other marketing strategies out there other than NIL. NIL is very big and it's growing very rapidly, but there are potential other opportunities, in different things. So I say keep going.
Most definitely. Like I said again, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. And I definitely want to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors. Brian Lopez, you can find him at Busky.com. And Corey Shapiro, you can find him at VintageFrames.com.